Welcome to another episode of Capital Insight. There's a moment in every great story where everything should have fallen apart. A moment where the illusion begins to crack, where the truth quietly slips through, where anyone paying close enough attention could have stopped what was about to happen. In this story, that moment didn't come once. It came again and again, and every single time it was ignored. Because the idea was too powerful. Because the story was too perfect. Because the people involved wanted to believe. Now imagine this. A company that promised to change medicine forever. A device small enough to sit on a table, yet powerful enough to run hundreds of blood tests, using just a few drops from your fingertip. No needles, no waiting, no labs, just instant answers about your health, your future, your life. It sounded impossible, like something out of science fiction. But it wasn't presented as fiction. It was presented as reality. And the person behind it had a presence that made people trust her instantly. A calm voice, steady, controlled, with a confidence that never seemed to break. The kind of certainty that made doubt feel unnecessary. She wasn't just selling a product. She was selling a vision, a future where disease could be detected early, where lives could be saved quietly, almost effortlessly. And the world believed her. Investors poured in millions. Executives lined up behind her. Media celebrated her. She became a symbol of innovation. But beneath all of that, behind the polished presentations, behind the billion-dollar valuation, there was one problem. The technology didn't work. Not sometimes. Not occasionally. It simply didn't work the way it was claimed. And yet the company kept growing. Vaster, more visible, more trusted. Every partnership added credibility. Every headline added pressure. Because questioning it meant admitting something uncomfortable. That maybe the smartest people in the room weren't as certain as they seemed. So instead of asking harder questions, they leaned in. They believed more. And more. And more. And that is where this story changes. Because this isn't just about one company. It's about something deeper. A pattern where confidence outweighs evidence, where narrative becomes stronger than reality, and where perception slowly replaces truth. And once that pattern begins, it doesn't just grow, it accelerates. In the early days, the company didn't look like much. A small office, limited resources, and an idea that sounded too ambitious to be practical. But that's exactly what made it attractive. Because in places where innovation moves fast, impossible ideas are not rejected. They are celebrated. The more unrealistic something sounds, the more potential it seems to have. Because if it works, it changes everything. And if it doesn't, most people assume someone else will figure that out later. That mindset created the perfect environment. A place where bold claims were expected, and skepticism quietly faded into the background. No one wanted to miss out. especially when the person leading it all seemed so certain. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't exaggerate. She spoke with calm precision, as if the outcome had already been decided, as if success wasn't a possibility, but an inevitability. And that certainty began to spread from investors to partners to employees. It created something powerful, a shared belief, a kind of momentum that pulled everyone forward, each person looking at the others, thinking the same thing. They must know something I don't. And when enough people think that, doubt doesn't disappear because it is answered. It disappears because no one wants to ask. Inside the company, things were very different. Engineers struggled. Tests failed. Results didn't match expectations. The gap between what was promised and what was actually happening, it kept growing. But that gap was never discussed openly. It was controlled, contained, hidden behind layers of silence, because admitting the truth wasn't just risky. What started as optimism turned into justification. What started as ambition turned into pressure. And what started as belief turned into something far more dangerous. Because when people become emotionally invested, they don't ignore problems. They redefine them. Failures become temporary setbacks. Flaws become challenges to overcome. And reality itself begins to feel flexible. At first, the changes are small. A detail here, a slight exaggeration there. Nothing that feels like a lie. Just adjustments. But those adjustments begin to stack, layer by layer, decision by decision, until the original truth is no longer visible. By the time anyone realizes what's happening, it's already too late. Too many people are involved. Too much money has been invested. Too many promises have been made. And walking it back would mean admitting that everything built so far was unstable. So instead of stopping, they continue. Faster, harder, more aggressively. Because maybe, if they can just make it work, everything will be justified. Every shortcut, every compromise, every decision. It will all make sense in the end. But the problem with that thinking is time. Because the longer the gap exists, the harder it becomes to close. And eventually, time runs out. Not suddenly, not in one dramatic moment, but slowly, in small, almost invisible cracks. A question that doesn't have a clear answer. A result that feels slightly off. A conversation that doesn't quite make sense. At first, these moments are easy to ignore, but they begin to accumulate. And once enough of them exist, they form a pattern that becomes harder to deny. But even then, people hesitate, because recognizing the pattern means accepting something uncomfortable. That they were wronged, that they believed something they shouldn't have, that they trusted the wrong thing. So instead, they delay. They rationalize. They wait for more information, and for clearer proof, for someone else to speak first. And that hesitation allows the illusion to survive just a little longer. But illusions don't last forever. Eventually, reality pushes through. And when it does, everything changes. Because now the story is no longer about innovation. It is about something else entirely. Something deeper. Something more human. A question no one wanted to ask. Not how did this happen, but why didn't we stop it? And here is the part that stays with you. If you were there, in that moment, surrounded by confidence, by belief, by people who seemed certain, you might have believed it too. Not because you are careless, but because belief does not come from logic alone. It comes from the environment around you, from repetition, from confidence, from the people you trust. And that is what makes this story dangerous. Because it is not just about one company. It is about a pattern that can repeat. Different company, different people, the same structure, where perception becomes stronger than reality, where belief grows faster than truth, and where no one wants to be the one who asks the difficult question, because asking questions creates friction, and friction slows things down. But without friction, systems drift further and further away from reality, until the gap becomes too large to ignore. And when that happens, the collapse is not sudden. It becomes inevitable. That is the real lesson. Not just what happened, but how easily it can happen again. And maybe the real question is not how to stop the next illusion, but whether we will recognize it when it begins.